Well, hello there! Spider Dash here. Not too long ago, I uploaded a video called The Ultimate Sam Raimi's Spider-Man Iceberg, and it did pretty well. So, thank you to all of you for all of your support. Now that I know that all of you are Spider-Man fans, there is a pair of Spider-Man movies that is frequently looked down upon, but if you look at them from the right perspective, they're actually really amazing. So amazing that there isn't anything sinister behind them. Or is it? That's why we're going through a deep dive through the amazing Spider-Man Iceberg. But before starting the video, thanks to DeviantArt user Diego Spider Jr. 2099. Thank you. Without you, nothing of this will be possible. Now, leave in the comments which movie from the amazing Spider-Man saga is your favorite. Give me a like and click the subscribe button. Without anything else to say, let's begin. Tier 1 Clear Skies. Ultimate Comics inspiration. Ironically, despite being called The Amazing Spider-Man, the first movie is more based on the Ultimate Spider-Man comics than the Amazing Spider-Man ones. This is best seen with the lecture that Uncle Ben gives to Peter. The words that Uncle Ben says are the same that he says on the Ultimate Comics. Deleted scenes. The Amazing Spider-Man movies, as any other films, have many deleted scenes. Looking at them with the commentary of Marc Webb feels kinda sad, because you can feel that he was trying his best to make an amazing film. And looking through other scenes, you can see that if they would stay in the movie, the film would make much more sense. There's a deleted scene that shows that Dr. Connors has a child, and another scene that shows what happened to Dr. Raza. If you want to look at more deleted scenes, I'll leave a link in the description. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit is the most comic accurate. The suit that Spider-Man wears in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 film is a fan favorite suit, mostly because it has big white eyes, and it really resembles the suit from the Ultimate Spider-Man comics. I say that it looks great, and if you tell me that this is the best live-action Spider-Man suit, I wouldn't disagree. Sally April in The Amazing Spider-Man. Sally April, who you might know because she appears in the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, appears briefly in the first The Amazing Spider-Man movie, played by the actress Kelsey Chow. Also, she is the girl that Peter asks out in the first panel of Amazing Fantasy, number 15. Andrew Garfield in No Way Home. At the time being, I can confirm, Andrew Garfield appears in Spider-Man No Way Home. Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone were a couple. Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone started dating after meeting on the Amazing Spider-Man set. In Andrew Garfield's words, he fell in love with Emma Stone the first time that he saw her, and honestly, you can't blame him. Tier 2 The Tip of the Iceberg. Why was The Amazing Spider-Man cancelled? There are many versions of this, but the most acknowledged one is that Andrew Garfield failed to show up at a planned press event in Brazil, announcing the Amazing Spider-Man 3 sequel, and that offended a lot of top heads on Sony, enough to cancel the third installment in the Amazing Spider-Man saga. Honestly, this feels kinda sad. I will say that yes, this has something to do with it, but I believe that there is a much bigger reason that we don't know yet. Behind the scenes. As any other movie, if you buy the DVD or the Blu-ray, you can see the behind the scenes, or you just can look for it on YouTube. Watching it is definitely worth it, because you can see that Marc Webb put his whole heart into the movies, just to be screwed by a certain individual. If you want to watch the behind the scenes of the first movie, it will definitely not be in the description. El lagarto simpático. As far as I know, here in Latin America, the lizard became a meme. Because his design looks bad, he looks like Bowser from the Super Mario movie. So, many people put him the nickname of El Lagarto Simpático, which translates to something like the friendly lizard. Also, when the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer released, many people named him El Lagarto Bluetooth, because he looks like he's being punched wirelessly. Felicity Jones is Felicia Hardy. The character that Felicity Jones plays is named Felicia, but we are never specified of her last name. But she is Felicia Hardy, and we know it because of something that we'll talk about later. Similarities to The Spectacular Spider-Man. The Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon and the Amazing Spider-Man movies have a lot of things in common, like the fact that Gwen Stacy is the love interest of Peter Parker, or that Oscorp, or by default, Norman Osborn, is behind everything, or the fact that we see Flash and Peter's friendship grow. Connection with Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. Around the time that The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was released, an episode of Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures was aired, where Pac-Man turns into a spider and sings a song that resembles the classic Spider-Man theme. If you want to see it, I'll leave a link in the description. Also, it's worth mentioning that Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures was developed by ABR Rat, at the same time that The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was being developed, so this Easter egg is no coincidence. Tier 3. Below the Surface. Michael Fassbender was the original lizard. Jared Marentz, one of the main artists of the two Amazing Spider-Man movies, shared this on his Instagram. It's a concept art of the lizard. In it, it says that he based the face of the character on the actor Michael Fassbender, and the studio originally wanted him to play the character, but we can guess that by many different reasons, it never came to be. Andrew Garfield in Doctor Strange 2. Up to this day, we know next to nothing about the next Doctor Strange movie, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. But it is said that some characters from other movies that aren't from Marvel Studios will make an appearance, such as the X-Men from Fox, probably the debut of the Fantastic Four, Tobey's Spider-Man, and of course, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. If you come from the future, I will appreciate if you leave in the comments if something of this is true. Dr. Kafka is Dr. Octopus. Dr. Kafka appears briefly in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie. His character is based on the comic character with the same name, but the major change is that in the comics, the character is a woman. There is a theory that says that he was later going to be revealed as Dr. Octopus in a Sinister Six movie, but that is just a theory. Michael B. Jordan in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. For The Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie, Andrew Garfield pitched the idea that Peter Parker should be bisexual and have a relationship with a man played by Michael B. Jordan. Concept arts. As any other films, the Amazing Spider-Man movies have concept arts for the two movies. In them, you can see different designs for the Spider-Man suit, a more comic-accurate look for the lizard, a different look for Rhino, and you can even see that Miles Morales was planned to appear at some point. Oscorp keeps an eye on you. This is something that Harry says to Peter in a deleted scene, where Harry reveals that Oscorp has been surveilling Peter since he was a child. Connection with the Defenders. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was shot in the same locations where Jessica Jones was filmed. Also, it's worth mentioning, around that time a Spider-Man cartoon was being aired, named Ultimate Spider-Man, when in almost every episode, Spider-Man teams up with some members of the Defenders. Also, Jessica Jones says the famous words,
"If you say with great power comes great responsibility, I swear I'll throw up on you."
Scrapped the Amazing Spider-Man 2 deleted scene. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie was going to have a post-credit scene that was going to feature the Sinister Six. Also, it was supposed to reveal that Norman Osborn was still alive, or at least that his severed head was in a state of cryogenization, waiting to be revealed as the real Green Goblin. Year 4. The bottom of the iceberg. Mary Jane in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Shailene Woodley was set to appear as MJ in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie. A lot of the scenes with her were shot. We can see her interacting with Peter as well as with Gwen Stacy. And a scene of Peter confronting MJ's dad as Spider-Man after finding out that he abused his daughter emotionally was said to be shot, but this scene was never filmed, and the other scenes were cut from the movie. Proto-Goblin was the original villain of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Originally, the Dr. Rajit Raza was set to appear as the villain Proto-Goblin in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The Proto-Goblin is a minor villain in the Amazing Spider-Man comics, and the Dr. Rajit Raza was supposed to survive the attack from the lizard and become the Proto-Goblin at some point, but this idea was scrapped. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the Webb cut. This is the same case than with the Snyder cut. A lot of fans are asking Sony to release a version of the film with the vision that the director intended. And it is said that there is around 6 hours of content that we haven't seen yet. Video games. Each The Amazing Spider-Man movie came with its respective video game. Even if they don't reach levels of Insomniac's Spider-Man, they're definitely good. So you should try them if you can. These games were released in almost every platform at that moment. There are also phone versions of those video games. So, odds are that you have a really high chance of playing them, if you want to. Symbiote deleted scene. The symbiote appears in the final trailer of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but in the final movie, it was removed and replaced with Doc Ock's arms. J. Jonah Jameson and Betty Brant in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. J. Jonah Jameson as well as Betty Brant were set to appear in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but this never happened, and instead J. Jonah Jameson has a small reference in the movie. Tier 5. Shallow Waters. The Amazing Spider-Man 3. The Amazing Spider-Man 3 was cancelled, but we have some hints of what it could have been. The actor, Denise Leary, who plays Captain George Stacy in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, revealed some information of what the Amazing Spider-Man 3 could have been. Peter Parker would have come up with a formula to bring back people from death, and characters like George Stacy, Gwen, and Uncle Ben would have been brought back. An interesting plot if you ask me. Missy Kallenbach and Tatiana. Missy Kallenbach is a character played by the actress Hannah Marks that appears in the first The Amazing Spider-Man movie. After appearing in the film, the actress gained some followers on her social media and appeared in other movies. And Tatiana was a new character. Sony pitched the idea of Peter Parker having a new love interest in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 named Tatiana. But the idea was scrapped quickly, because why would you replace something that is already perfect? The Sinister Six movie. It is confirmed that Sony wanted to make a Sinister Six movie before making The Amazing Spider-Man 3, but both movies were cancelled. Spider-Man vs. The Amazing Spider-Man. This refers to an essay written by the comicbookmovie.com, where they compare the Amazing Spider-Man movie with the original Spider-Man from Sam Raimi. If you want to read it, I'll leave a link in the description. Andrew Garfield in Civil War and Infinity War. It is said that Sony and Marvel Studios were in negotiations to make Spider-Man appear in the MCU long before The Amazing Spider-Man 2. In this case, Andrew Garfield would have appeared in the MCU as the MCU's Spider-Man instead of Tom Holland. Also, this entry could refer to the What If videos made by the YouTuber Missed the Part. I'll leave his videos in the description. Spin-offs. Sony had plans for a lot of spin-offs related to the Amazing Spider-Man movies, among them Agent Venom, Venom Carnage, Silver and Black, and an Aunt May movie. The Agent Venom movie would have featured the same actor that played Flash in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, Chris Silka. It is said that him and Sony were in conversations to play the character. We don't know much about the Venom Carnage movie, but it is safe to say that much of the ideas that were going to be used in that movie wound up in the Venom movies starred by Tom Hardy. The Silver and Black movie was going to feature the Spider-Man villains Silver Sable and Black Cat. We don't know much about it, more than it was very likely that the actress Felicity Jones was going to reprise her role as Felicia Hardy, and the Aunt May movie was going to be based on the Marvel comic Trouble, where it is revealed that Aunt May is the mom of Peter Parker because she cheated on Uncle Ben with Richard Parker. Yeah, it is a good thing that they didn't make that one. Tier 6 Dark Waters. Scrapped Clone Saga Adaptation. Remember what I said about the plot of The Amazing Spider-Man 3 being Peter bringing back people from the dead? Well, it is said that the main villain of that movie was going to be the Jackal. He was going to find Peter's formula at some point and clone him, giving us Ben Reilly in the big screen for the first time. Andrew Garfield hates Sony. After being fired by Sony, it is said that Andrew and Sony aren't on good terms. But after Andrew appearing in No Way Home, we can safely say that at least they have reached middle ground. The Amazing Spider-Man 4. Little is known about The Amazing Spider-Man 3, and we know even less about The Amazing Spider-Man 4. But since we know that the Sinister Six was in the works, maybe The Amazing Spider-Man 4 was going to have Peter fighting the Sinister Six. Emma Stone will be resurrected and become Carnage. There are rumors that Gwen Stacy could have returned as Carnage, just like in the Ultimate Universe, where she becomes Carnage after her death. In the movie, we would have seen Peter bring Gwen Stacy back to life, but the universe will teach Peter that he has to be careful what he wishes for. Tier 7 The Abyss. Spider-Man 2099 movie. There are rumors that if the other projects that Sony had planned succeeded, they would have made a Spider-Man movie about the Spider-Man from the 2099, but nothing more than just rumors. David Fincher's Spider-Man. David Fincher, director of The Social Network and Fight Club, was among the candidates to direct a new Spider-Man movie even before Sam Raimi. And when Sony wanted to make the Amazing Spider-Man movies, David Fincher was among the names to direct the Amazing Spider-Man films. Sadly, this never came to be, but David Fincher has talked about his vision for the Spider-Man movie. He said that his movie wouldn't have been an origin story, that the main focus was not going to be the action. He would have centered around the characters instead. The main villain was going to be the Green Goblin, and the movie was going to feature Gwen Stacy's death. In my opinion, it sounds like it could have been a really good movie. Scrapped Andrew Garfield into the Spider-Verse cameo. There are rumors that the directors of the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse wanted to include characters voiced by Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, but Sony declined the idea. They said that it was too soon to make it in the first movie, so let's keep our fingers crossed for the next movie, Across the Spider-Verse. Why Andrew and Emma broke up. At this day, we don't know the exact reason why Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone broke up. The little that we know is that Andrew Garfield was in a dark place while he was filming a movie in Taiwan. We don't have exact details on what happened, and honestly I think that we should leave them alone. The Amazing Spider-Man Scenes Past. Do not research. The Amazing Spider-Man Scenes Past is a Spider-Man comic where they reveal that before Gwen Stacy's death, she had children with Norman Osborn. Yes, Spider-Man is a cook. But thank God that this comic is no longer canon, and they never had plans of adapting this comic into a film. Well, you stayed until the end. Thank you for watching this video. It was a lot of work doing this, so please, if you enjoy it, give me a like and click the subscribe button. And a special thanks to Diego Spider JR 2099. He helped me a lot through the video and is the creator of the Iceberg. So consider following him on DeviantArt. Without anything else to say, I'm Spider Dash, and I'll be seeing you the next time.
Ai meu Deus! Mãe!